Hi everyone, it's Farah from the Couplings Foundation, and this is another episode of our Make a Difference series. It is Friday night, Easter weekend, and I get to spend it with Heidi from Purple Lotus Spiritual Healing. Hi Heidi,
Hi,
how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Lovely, slightly soggy weather here in down in Miami, Florida, where I'm at. But besides that, it's a pretty decent day.
I feel like you guys, every time someone says they're in Florida, all I can think about is sun. So I feel like you guys are quite spoiled all the time with sun.
No, it's equal parts sun and rain.
Okay. Yeah, we had loads of sun here today in South Africa. It was
Okay.
lovely, but whole weekend it's raining, so I'm like, oh well.
I think it's gonna be the same here, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll just embrace this time to relax, I
Exactly. Yep.
guess. So Heidi, before we get into what you do, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Who is Heidi?
Yes, so I do and pardon any noise in the background. My little one's here and he
That's
just called
fine.
out for me. So, um I am a mom of two boys and I own Purple Lotus Spiritual Healing, and I've owned it for 10 years, and it's evolved from it just being a generic, slightly generic Reiki yoga business to something that's flourished into more helping women tap into their bodies, the power within, not just the physical, but the energetic part of connecting to our wombs and how important that is, and helping them reclaim their sexual power back and letting go of shame around our menstrual cycle and our sexuality.
Wow. I do love though how it's like it's a domino effect, how you started off with like Reiki and yoga, and then you
Mhm.
got deeper into tapping into it.
Exactly. I love it.
I like hearing those kind of stories because I feel like we should always be growing, like
Yes.
personally and helping everyone around us. So it's really nice to see you like, well, hear you growing throughout these
Mhm.
10 years.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and everything has led me to where I'm supposed to be at right now. Um, and that's helping women, which I feel that is my focal point. This is something I feel I could do for the rest of my life, like literally till I take my last breath. Like I don't,
Um,
retirement's not a thing for me. I'm gonna be doing this for forever.
yeah. And you know what? Do you ever find that you sometimes hit like roadblocks when you say these kind of things to people like spiritual healing and all of that? Because I remember the other day I spoke to someone in my complex and I was letting them know that my mom is like a Reiki healer as well. She does distance healing and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, you guys are those heebie jeebie people. And I was actually happy to own that. I said, yeah, we're
Yeah.
weird, but it works.
Exactly. I get called bruja or witch, and I'm like, yes, definitely, I am one. Thank you. Thank you for seeing that.
Yeah, I actually can heal. And I do a good job at it.
Yeah.
But if I open up your Instagram, gosh, I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you self-love coach,
Mhm,
cosmic sex coach. There's a lot that we need to delve into today.
mhm.
And what made you, I know you said that it was like over 10 years, but what made you go from the yoga Reiki and delve deeper into the other stuff?
Our, I believe our personal experiences has a lot to do on with the work we end up doing and the work that we end up loving and finding as our passion. So I had suffered through issues of infertility, and just I felt a longing, a deeper connection with myself, with my feminine energy, and with my womb. And that led me down that path, as well as being in a toxic relationship where the view of sexuality and sex between a married couple wasn't matching. So once that separation came through, I went through my Saturn return. So that's where that point in your life where things just fall apart and you grow. It's a metamorphosis. So that led me deeper into helping women work with their releasing sexual shame
Yeah.
and owning all of that.
That's lovely. And isn't it so beautiful that you had like these infertility problems and now you have two boys?
Mhm. Yes.
Like I think that's the nicest teaching when you can say I've been through it
Yes,
and people could be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. It's a great example.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
But I think it's
Yeah.
also really important what you're teaching because there's so many women who have been through trauma, who have been
Mhm.
through toxic relationships and have been through a lot of bad things in their life that they can't actually embrace their sexual energy. They can't embrace their feminine power because
Mhm.
they just feel this heavy burden of their trauma.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the fact that we can relate and touch on topics and be like, I've been through where you've been, I've been in your shoes. And what I am offering and the services and tools are what helped me in the first place to be at the point in my life where I'm at now. So it's not like something I just did training and I have no experience in this. It's lived experiences.
Yeah.
And my lived experiences led me to these trainings, these sessions where I can help, help them not feel alone, that there's other people going through the same and that I'm there to help.
And you know what I love is it's not only that, hey, I'm a coach, I can help you. It's,
Exactly.
hey, look at me. I mean, like I said, I've seen your Instagram and it's like, whoa, she is literally embracing this. She has
Mm-hmm.
not just saying, I'm here for you, but she is out of her shell. She is saying, this is how you can be. And you're just like unapologetically yourself.
Yes. And I think that's very important in especially where in the spiritual realm where like every other healer or person all love to them, but it's kind of generic that everybody looks the same, has the same vibes, says the same
Yeah.
things. So being able to just put myself out there and be like, okay, people are gonna like me regardless if I follow the trend or not. So let me just be me and let me be myself.
Yeah. And you do step out of the box quite a lot. I love it.
Yes.
It's, it's actually quite, whoa, it's actually quite crazy for us on the outside looking in.
And it's been a process though because I'm extremely introverted.
Yeah.
So knowing that in order for me to reach more people and to expand my business, I have to come out of that shell.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been a process. It's been hard, but now it's like I can't just go out and do my things and post myself on social media without it putting on a different persona. So
Yeah. Wow. Do you know what? I actually have a lot of respect for you because firstly, I feel like I'm also introverted. So I feel like introverts always somehow have this underlying sixth sense connection. Like I feel very comfortable with you. I always do with introverts. I really respect you because as an introvert to go out there and make the kind of content that you make is huge.
yeah.
Wow. Like, yeah. Anyone would have thought you were this extrovert and you were just, yeah, yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Heidi, looking at your page, you say guide you to your power via sacred sexuality.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
So our sexual energy doesn't always have to equate to having sex or sex in general. Sexual energy is life force energy. It's what permeates all of us. It's what connects us to one another.
Yeah.
So ignoring that part of ourselves, we're ignoring a part of ourselves and boxing up a part of ourselves. So we're not always, I guess, in our authentic state. And reclaiming that and owning that and the fact that you could just be comfortable in your skin, and it's empowering.
Yeah.
Sexual life force energy, so it's the energy we use to tap in to create the life we want. So being tapped into that energy, we become magnetic to calling in things that serve our higher selves, our serves our journey. Sexual energy is a high vibrational energy, so it's going to attract and put you in a state of constantly of receiving. So that's
I feel like a lot of the times, yeah, people think sexual energy is having sex. I feel like there's this stigma behind our sexual energy where it's like if you have a lot of it, you're a slut, you're like kind of slut shamed, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a lot of women then don't embrace their femininity, they don't embrace their sexual energy because they're scared to be called a certain way, or if you're too expressive, oh, she's been around the block, all these kind of things that people say. So I think it's so important that people like you are out there on social media and we can create this circle of women who now are making a difference and saying, hey, you can't call us those names because we're embracing our life force, our sexual energy. We
Yes.
actually need to educate people
Mm-hmm.
on that.
And funny thing is that I've always wanted a girl in order to be able to teach her and show her these things. But then at the same time, I'm like, I was blessed with two boys, so then they can go out into the world and not be these over masculinated, toxic
Yeah.
males. I had a conversation with my son where he was telling me that, oh, his girlfriend, he's 15.
I was gonna
His
say,
girlfriend,
how old are your boys?
15 and 5 years old.
Nice.
So a 15-year-old was like, oh, she didn't want to have sex. So I didn't force her. Are you proud of me? And at first I was like, why would I be ashamed of you wanting to have sex? But then I replayed the conversation in my head and I realized, oh, now I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
That he was being respectful of her choices, of her not wanting to, and him not getting upset about it, which and that's when I realized, oh my God, the work that I'm doing is actually reaching and touching him at the same time.
Yeah. I think we always, especially in our movement, we always forget that as much as it's good to empower the feminine and the women, that
Mm-hmm.
boys do need educating too.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like you say, you didn't have a girl, but how blessed are you to have these two boys that you get to
Mm-hmm.
like teach how to treat women. That'll
Exactly.
firstly also like reduce gender-based violence in the world. It'll show respect, and hopefully it'll also like show other men how to behave as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think it's lovely how you can just talk, like how your son could just come to you and speak about
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Even sex is not like a taboo thing, like where we can't speak or talk about it. That was never the case in our household, to the point that when he felt, I guess, he was ready to have sex, he also asked me to buy him condoms. So I
Wow.
was pretty awesome too.
Yeah. You know what? And I think all of us, I don't know about you, but like a lot of us here in Africa are grown up like very old school. We can't be asking questions about this. We can't be talking about this kind of stuff in our households. Um, so yeah, it's really, really liberating hearing that you could do that. How did you, I know this is kind of going off topic of
Mhm.
like what we're talking about, but how did you create an environment for the boys for them to be so comfortable to chat to you about this?
um when I was with um their father, I know we had around the age of 10, we started having, because his friends were already starting to watch things like porn and stuff like that. So we decided to have the conversation with him. Look, what you're saying there, that's not what sex is or should be. It's
Ah,
not real. So we gave him the understanding of that, and then talking how things, his body works, how other things work.
um,
And I've always been very open about menstrual wellness and not being shamed about having a period. So at the same time, there were girls starting to get, their periods around the same, in his classroom. So I always told them, look, if you ever see a girl and she's stained or whatever the case is, don't make fun of her, help her out. If you have a jacket, offer it to her so she doesn't feel ashamed.
that's lovely.
Things like that. The period's not something nasty or dirty. It's normal, and it's, a part of life.
What makes us
And
us, yeah.
exactly. And I've never shunned the work that I do from him. He follows me on Instagram, but sees everything that I post. So
Um,
it's something that I made sure that wasn't taboo or shameful in the house, that it's okay to talk about.
yeah. And it must be nice as well, like for his friends when they come over and stuff. It must also be liberating for them.
Oh yes, it is. That sometimes where I used to live at, the products I sold, I would have them out on display. So the crystal dildos and the yoni
Yeah.
egg, That's all on display. So they're all seeing that and they're asking me questions and I have no problem answering. So they did feel free, that curious mind of theirs felt free and comfortable to just ask. And I answered in the most appropriate way, you know.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when you hide things from children, you're creating the shameful or you're creating the secretive kind of thing around it. So the fact that it was out there in the open is like, hey guys, this is something natural, and if you want to know about it, you can have a chat to me about
Exactly.
it. I love that. I also think that yeah, just having people like you, like especially moms and parents, just like you, will help create this generation that we're in now to be super open. If boys can talk about their period, girls can like freely also chat to guys and their parents.
Exactly.
It's lovely. Don't you also think that once we start talking to girls about their period, like at home, it's much more safer environment than them trying to learn outside? Because I think a lot of, especially even sex as well, a lot of STDs come about because you're not taught anything.
Exactly.
Like, let me experience sex, but they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. I think having that conversation in general about sex, you know, STDs, the and menstrual cycle was extremely important, where and should be something sacred, that once you get your first bleed, it should be honored and celebrated and not just hidden, like, oh my gosh, you know, you have to keep your products hidden because, you know, the guys get uncomfortable to see it. Like, I don't care.
Offended, yeah.
Exactly. You know, I'm the one that's bleeding, not them. So why should they be bothered by it? Like, and it shouldn't be something that should be bothered at all. I mean, and I also was a teenage mom, so I made sure that sex and all of that was something that was openly spoken about and not hush hush and quiet.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like to be 15 and with a child, and then I want my son to be able to experience more and not be, not that it was a mistake, but you know, it changes one. You know, it's growing up too fast in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's important
like
to help maybe prevent or push back certain things. Because all I had to talk with my mom was, oh, once you're ready to have sex, we'll get you on birth control. Or we had a conversation once about sex, and then when my period came, I felt kind of oblivious as to what was going on. So I think to have those talks, even, you know, as early on as possible, and so things aren't uncomfortable or they don't feel shameful or that there's something wrong with them.
And I think that we naturally feel shameful on our first period because we've had this amazing life where we never had to worry about anything. And then suddenly it hits you and you're like, you get sore breasts, you want to eat all the time. Everything's sore the first time, you know? And it's like, you feel shameful. It just feels like when you get a flu, right? And if we were explained that it's actually something beautiful, we'd actually learn to love what comes out of us and that whole cycle.
And then not just that, but also me learning how each different phase in our cycle, aside from the bleeding, impacts us in a major way. When we're pre-ovulating, and we're a completely different person as to when we're premenstruating and menstruating. Exactly. Our energy because of our hormones and all these things, and these are things I probably didn't learn until I started doing the work that I was doing.
Yeah. But isn't that so weird? If you speak to most ladies, they actually say what you and I say. Like, I probably learned this like 3 years ago about my cycle. Yeah, shouldn't I have learned it when I first got my period?
Yeah.
Why did it take me so long? All I knew was, hey guys, I'm not feeling good, PMS, period.
Exactly, that's it.
Yeah, and we're told that we're crazy and, oh girls, like, there's jokes out there and it's okay to joke, but we also need to be educated.
Exactly.
This has been on my mind, but I just wanted to say, like, I'm so inspired by you. I feel like you break all the boxes. Like, to have a child at 15, Like back in the day, even when I was younger, if you had told your parents are always like, don't have a child when you're young. You don't know how to raise them. Now look at you. It's like you've broken out of all the boxes, yet you are
Yeah.
such a grounded and amazing mom. Like,
Yeah.
wow. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a teacher by profession. So yeah, from a teacher's perspective, I'm like, oh, she is like the perfect mom. But yeah, you really inspire me with that.
Thank you. I
Um,
mean,
yeah,
it's it's challenging. Challenges make us grow and turn us into who we are. So I am grateful and blessed for all of those
I love it.
challenges.
I was gonna ask, you said you also do womb healing,
Yes.
and how would you do that? Like, if someone wanted to come to you and like um get any
Mhm,
advice from you or like coaching and stuff, how would they
mhm.
do that? Do you do one-on-one? Do you do group?
I do one-on-ones, I do groups, um, whether in person or online. I could do the womb healing, so I can offer them in person and distant healing, as
Nice.
well as 90% of the other services that I offer
Okay.
can be done in person or virtually. Um, and I offer most of my classes that I offer are also offered available online. So whether you can, if you're not local in Miami, you could always send me a DM and I could set it up so you can be a part of the workshop.
Nice.
And I also private if you want to do like a virtual red tent, or it's your daughter's first period and you want like a little
Wow.
ceremony, that can be done as well.
Oh, that's lovely actually. And I feel like also if anyone wants like their child to have a chat with someone, because a lot of people don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents still have that roadblock. I feel like it's so nice that they can just like DM you and like say, hey, can you do it for us? And have that chat,
Yeah, for sure.
which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty cool. um, is there anything that you want us to know about you or what you do before we end this call?
um, just that I am here to help. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, message me. I can, whatever it is you need guidance or help on, I'm here to help. Self-love coach, cosmic sex coach,
Love
the
it.
womb healings. I can offer, coaching and advice on womb wellness and how to track your cycle and how to use that to better manifest and live a balanced life.
I like that. Can do you also do tantra and stuff, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, so
So
couples can get a hold of you.
yes,
Nice. And can tantra be done with singles as well?
yes. I actually started my tantric practice after my separation
Okay.
um from my kid's father. So it was a journey of learning my body, learning what I like, what I don't like, and how to channel that energy to feel just fully blissful and orgasmic within my own self, not having to need anyone else. And then once you do have a partner, that's something you could share with them and enhance that experience.
I like that. I just feel like everything you do is just about embracing your whole person and who you are
Yes. Mm-hmm.
without any barriers, without being shameful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love that. Thank you so much, Heidi. Yeah, there's so much I'd love to talk to you about, but time is not on our side. But yeah, I'll
Well,
link all your details to the video so everyone can get hold of you because you offer so much to so many people.
yes,
I love that.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for spending your time with me today.
Thank you. I'd love to be on. It was awesome talking to you. I had
Thanks.
a blast.
Chat soon. Bye.
Bye.